All right, well, we're here with Madison, Layden, getting ready for Penn State. Bit of trouble with Maryland turning the ball over 19 times. Where do you feel like the confidence is with this team right now?
I think right now we're just trying to find our identity. I think it's been hard in the past, with all these games, just trying to figure out who we are. But I think we're still working on that. And I think we just need to do the little things. And I think that'll help us as the games go on.
For sure. You've been a big facilitator of offense, and you really had that. You had a pretty solid first quarter against Maryland. What do you think it's going to just take, though, to just piece all that good work together, those 5 to 6 stretches and turn that into 40 minutes?
Yeah, I think just locking down on the defensive end, getting big stops, and I think that'll help us on the offensive end as well. And starting those earlier and not waiting until the second half, the third quarter to make big runs like that.
Yeah, you're getting down to the final stretch. Another ranked team is going to come into Mackey with Indiana coming up. I mean, how high has the intensity level been at practice? Really trying to right this ship, trying to get some solid ranked wins before Big Ten tournament comes into play.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every game is a challenge, and every game is super important in the Big Ten. So I think for us, just working on ourselves is a big component right now, and I think that'll translate to our next couple games.
For sure.
You guys have kind of gone on a roller coaster this year, big wins, tough losses, with a lot of young players on this team. How do you balance their emotions and kind of serve as that leader for them?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely knew it was going to be a roller coaster this year. We're having so many new people. So I think just for us upperclassmen, trying to keep them level-headed and, not taking things too seriously, not taking the losses too hard, and just focusing on that next game and getting those wins.
You got a team coming up in Penn State that's really going to try to pressure you guys full court, in a very, very similar way to what Iowa kind of did to you. Where do you feel like is going to be the biggest adjustment for you guys to make this time around, knowing that you played against those types of defenses and knowing how much pressure they're going to try to bring?
Yeah, I mean, we know they're a super aggressive team, a pressing team as well, same as Maryland. So I think just taking care of the ball and then scoring after we get past their press is going to definitely help us.
Was it a little weird having to go back to Maryland after, having gone there and not played because of the leaking issue? Was it weird having to go back there, and maybe that was kind of a tougher game than maybe it would have been had you played the first time around?
Yeah, I mean, obviously weird situation. I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but kind of threw me off a bit just going back there again. But I mean, that's not an excuse to have that many turnovers and not play as well as we would like.
Looking at Penn State, what kind of challenges do you think they'll present for you guys?
Like I mentioned before, just their press. They're super aggressive on the defensive end, and they like to push the ball in transition. So I think we just need to stay locked in and stop their transition points and then limit our turnovers.
Just looking at the tape from the Maryland game, was there one thing that really stuck out, or what was kind of the biggest learning experience overall, looking to improve heading into tomorrow?
I think big thing for us, I mean, this has been a big issue, turnovers. I think we had done a better job in the past couple of games, but just to have 19 turnovers against them, definitely we're going to need to limit that against Penn State.
Do you feel that it's just a matter of maybe slowing things down a little bit? People are almost thinking too far ahead instead of just worrying about the play that's in front of them. Do you feel that that's sort of the cause? Where do you feel like maybe that lots of turnovers came again after, what seemed to be 2 or 3 solid game stretch where you really didn't do that against Iowa?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're not always going to be perfect, so we're going to have stretches like that. So just the best thing for us to do is just keep limiting those turnovers and not having games like that in the future.
Mary Ashley Stevenson, she's been, a freshman that's gotten considerable playing time throughout the season. How have you been kind of, mentoring her? And do you feel like she kind of shares sort of that same sort of stoic quality that you have on the court? Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low.
Yeah, she's been really good for us. I think she has a kind of mature sense of play out there. So I think just moving forward, just keep doing what she's doing, and it'll be really great for us in the tournament.
Right now, do you feel like right now as you kind of come toward the home stretch that this is now going to be the time that really makes or breaks the opportunity for you guys to play in the NCAA tournament?
I think right now we don't want to look too far ahead into that. Just take it game by game and, try as hard as we can and try and get those wins against tough opponents.
Can you describe what like an Astor Smith brings to you guys as coaching staff?
Yeah, I mean, they bring everything for us. So, yeah, I mean, we have another preparation today for Penn State, and I think it's going to be important for us.